2, 1. Hey guys, Dusty from the FBI. Look, I've got the beautiful water behind me today. Yes, I just came off the road, stopped to say hi to Tom. So hope that you're enjoying the scenery. But I'm here today with Ask a Pro, and I've asked Elijah Ramsey from Utility Helpers to join us. So how are you doing, Elijah?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for having me on, Dusty.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. So, how old is Utility Helpers?
5 years old. We launched
Wow.
5 years ago.
Yeah. What is your background? How did you get into the business?
So it was kind of a blended story for me, and then Jonathan, my business partner, I'll chat about his as well, just a tad. So for me, I had years and years ago owned cell phone stores, which I had kind of a similar model within cellular back in the day, and then was a real estate agent and broker for 20 years. And as I expanded to much larger areas, I realized what a pain in the butt it was because it's so hard to figure out who's available, keep up with what company changed and what company bought out another company. And then it's just in general a hassle setting all this stuff up. So I was like, yeah, this should be a lot easier, and it's not.
Is
Um,
it?
so so we figured out a way. Jonathan's background, he was in the cable industry for many years. So that's where his background came in handy when it comes to, setting up stuff with the cable providers, building our systems and our operations around that, as well as negotiating with the companies to make sure that we can get the best deals for the customers.
Very cool. So we're talking all around. What exactly is Utility Helpers? What do you do?
We are a concierge service that helps the buyers set up all of their utilities and home services. Instead of them having to figure out what companies to call and then calling and answering the same boring questions for 4, 5, 6, 7 different companies, instead, they get set up with us through their real estate professional, anyone really in the inspection industry, including inspection companies. Um, and what we do with that is, as soon as we receive the order from a real estate professional, the buyer gets a welcome email that says, "Hey, your real estate professional has asked us to help you set up your utilities and home services. These are all the things that we're going to help you do. Click here to get started." From that point, they schedule a call. Their call usually in about 15 to 20 minutes. We've helped them set up everything all across the board, including scheduling the installations.
Oh, okay. So tell me exactly what services you do schedule for.
Power, water, sewer, trash, cable, internet, professional movers, moving trucks, pretty much any of that stuff that they need when they're getting moved into the home and trying to get everything set up.
Okay. And so let me get this straight. So you take all their information one time and then you connect them to the services and get the services turned on for them, and they don't have to think about it again.
Absolutely. You got it.
So that's pretty cool because you're saving them not only like frustration, one, but you're also saving them hours on a phone.
Absolutely. Yeah. On average, we save 2 to 3 hours and at least $200.
Wow. What's the $200? How are you saving $200?
So great question. So we actually in anything that they have options for,
Mm-hmm.
in some areas they actually have options of powers. Most powers. In most areas, the biggest thing that they have options with are things like cable, internet, TV, phone, that kind of stuff. And in those cases, what we do is any provider that is available at their address, we'll let them know, like, hey, for instance, we'll use St. Pete, Florida, for example. Most of the area in St. Pete, there's Wild, Frontier, and Spectrum available. So we'll say, hey, these are the 3 providers that are available. Tell us a little bit about how you use the internet. Then we'll ask a few questions if they're planning on doing television, what they need package-wise there. And then we'll say, okay, based on your needs with provider A, it's going to be this price. Provider B, it's going to be this price. Provider C, it's going to be this price. And we also disclose the terms to them in a simple, easy, apples to apples way, because as you know, most of those providers don't do anything apples to apples. So they make it intentionally hard to figure out which one is the better deal. We break that down for them and then activate whichever one they want and schedule their installation for whenever they want. So that's two parts of why they save money on that part. One, we actually help them compare and make sure they get into the right package. Actually, I'm going to take that from 2 to 3. Secondly, all of the providers make sure that we have the best available promotions because they know we're directly comparing them to the other providers that are available. So
Gotcha.
they know if there's a promotion that they have available, they know they want to make sure that it's available because they know most people, unless they really love or really hate one of the companies, they're going to choose based on price. And then the third part is our representatives are full concierge reps. It makes no difference to them whether the customer gets a $250 package or a $45 package. It affects their income zero. So they are looking out for the best interest of the customer. In most cases, if someone is calling in to do it themselves, they're talking to someone that's paid commission based on whatever package and price point they're in. So their job is to sell them the most expensive thing. Our guy's job is to set them up with exactly what they need.
Oh, I like that. That should be your slogan. We don't
Absolutely.
oversell you. We sell you exactly what you need, right?
Absolutely.
So you have a partner, Jonathan. He's not with us today, but between the two of you, how many years experience would you say you have in the industry?
But between kind of the full industry, between the two of us, about 40 years.
Wow. You don't look that old, Elijah.
I know, right? The gray kind of gives it away a little bit.
Well, it's coming, So, Elijah, I bet one of the questions that everybody wants to know is, like you said, this was free, right? This is a free service to be utilized by real estate professionals, realtors,
Correct.
inspectors, mortgage loan officers, title companies. How are you making this a business if it's free?
I love that question. So one of the big things that we did is make sure that we made it a win-win. And actually, it's a win-win-win-win. So we also make the lives of the providers so much easier because A, they make sure that they get all of their offerings out. B, they make sure that instead of each one of those companies having to pay somebody to ask the same questions over and over and set up all the accounts separately, instead we ask those questions one time and we do all the activation. So it's actually cheaper for them to have us set it up than it is for them to set it up themselves because we have all the data and we're setting up 5 or 6 or 7, sometimes 8 different accounts. And we're asking those questions once and activating all the accounts in pretty much about the same amount of time they would have set up one.
For one person.
So for one person, yep.
Gotcha.
So for them, it's much easier. So they actually pay us convenience fees for setting up the accounts. So all of our revenue comes from the providers. The customers always get the same or usually a better deal than they would have had they gone direct. And there's no cost to them, no cost to the agent or real estate professional.
What a fabulous service. How did you think it up?
So I saw the pain point. I saw the need for it as I expanded my business, and it got to the point to where it didn't make sense for me to just have a little sheet of all the providers that were always changing anyway. And you never knew, especially, when you start working a larger area, you never know what those breakout points are. So I was like, there has to be an easier way. And then the same thing, it's every time you move, it's like you got to call these companies and say the same thing over and over and over again, like a broken record. Even if you're doing it online, you're still going online and you're typing it over and over and over again. So I was like, there has to be an easier way, and there was not. So started looking for how to do that, built out a business plan. The embarrassing part is we sat on the business plan for a little over 10 years before we started building it out. We actually started building it out at the beginning of 2016 and then launched in 2017. But that whole thing, it was something that was so obvious to us that there should be an easier way to do this, and there wasn't. So, and then Jonathan came into that as I started trying to negotiate with the cable providers, they were like, you want to compare us to everyone else and you want us to pay you. So I had known Jonathan through a mutual friend and reached out to him and was like, hey, I know you've worked in the cable industry a long time. Can I pick your brain? And the more we started talking about things and learned about kind of each other and our goals and, our visions, it was a no brainer, and it was the best decision I ever made to bring him in as a business partner.
Good. That's nothing better than having a great business partner.
Absolutely.
So FBI serves 11 counties, like from Hernando to Collier, from the water over to Polk. What's your service area? Where do you concentrate your efforts?
The lower 48 states. So we
What?
service the entire U.S., excluding Alaska and Hawaii.
Wow. So you're saying a real estate agent in California could use your services?
Absolutely.
Wow. That's impressive, Elijah. In
Thank you.
5 short years.
5 short years. They don't seem that short. I can tell you, half of this gray hair probably came from that 5 years. But
yeah, I know. Starting a business is not an easy task, but
absolutely.
I think you've got a great business model. So just kind of to recap, Utility Helpers is a concierge moving service. You can reach them at 813-291-3600. His name is Elijah Ramsey, in case you didn't get that at the beginning. And that's his famous move. So
it's true.
You ever see him in pictures, he's always got a move. But we're so happy to have you. And we have created a partnership with them as well. So anytime you do an inspection with the FBI group, we give the information over to Elijah, and Elijah makes contact with you and allows you to know about the services that he and Jonathan provide. So we hope to see you both on our books and theirs. And Elijah, is there anything else you want to tell the audience?
If you have any questions or want to check out anything, especially for real estate professionals, if you check out utilityhelpers.com/agents, there's a little explainer video about how it works, some video testimonials, and then a lot of FAQs and that kind of information on there, and the ability to sign up for our service.
Okay. One thing I did want to mention. So, reviews are super important, right? So
Absolutely.
We were talking just the other day, and you told me you just went to a what on Facebook?
So we have an average of 5 stars out of 5, and
Woo!
we just went over. When we were talking, we had just gone over 900. We're actually at 940 something now.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure we'll hit 950 this week.
Well, congratulations on a great business model. So happy to be a partner with you, and looking forward to growing with you.
Same. Thank you so much, Dusty.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. It is Friday. See y'all later.
Happy Friday.
Bye-bye.